Welcome back. The H1N1 vaccine is arriving in cities around the country later today. Many will be ready to start vaccinating folks this week. Miriam Link-Mullison from the Jackson County Health Department is here to talk more about when Jackson County, Southern Illinois area will be ready for this and what's the very latest here at home.
We're expecting to receive some of the nasal spray vaccine at the end of this week, and then probably more supplies next week. So we expect the week of October 19th is when we'll probably be starting to vaccinate. We want to make sure that we have plenty of supplies so that people aren't coming and being disappointed.
Sure. And have you been getting a lot of people asking about the vaccine so far?
We have had a lot of people. I think there's still some confusion about who we will be vaccinating first. And it does appear that there's going to be plenty of vaccine, but we are going to start vaccinating with those people most at risk of complications. So we're going to start with children, young adults, and adults with underlying medical conditions, pregnant women, household members of babies.
And why are those groups particularly being put to the top of the list, so to speak?
Well, one of the things about this fall 2009 H1N1 is we have a whole series of months in which we learned who was most impacted. And what we learned from the spring is those were the people that most likely got complications, were hospitalized, and unfortunately died, were the younger adults. In the spring events, the average age of the person dying was 37 years old, and the average age of the person being hospitalized was 20. So we need to get to our younger adults, and particularly those with underlying chronic diseases, but and also to the children. So that's where we're going to start, is with the children and young adults. And we now know that probably one dose of vaccine is going to, one dose of vaccine is going to be adequate for those 10 and older. They had a very good response in terms of building immunity, and so one dose is going to be great for those that are 10 and older. The younger kids are going to still need 2 doses. So we're going to start with the youngest kids so that we can get that first dose in, come back 3 or 4 weeks later and get that second dose in so that we can get them some immunity, you know, before the season progresses any further.
And with this being such a new vaccine, there are some that are concerned about that. What's your advice to people who may be worried with this being kind of an experimental thing?
Well, I don't see it as being experimental. First of all, it's being prepared exactly like the seasonal flu vaccine is prepared every year, and every year we're preparing a new flu vaccine. So it's, you know, it's not so, it's prepared in the same way by the same manufacturers. We expect it to perform basically the same as seasonal flu vaccine has for decades.
Now, do you suggest people getting a seasonal flu vaccine and H1N1?
Absolutely. They should. We have seasonal flu vaccine now. There's been a little bit of problem getting it in the door for some places. We have all of ours in-house now, and we've been doing public clinics all over the county, and but definitely seasonal flu vaccine first, H1N1 when it becomes available in just a few weeks, and always cover that cough, wash those hands, and stay home if you're sick.
And I have one last quick question. Now, folks who, you know, we've seen some schools around Southern Illinois that have seen a rise in influenza A. Can those kids get the vaccine even though they've already been exposed to it or had it?
We would recommend that they go ahead and get the vaccine because we think they had H1N1. We weren't really testing, and that's not really important that we were testing or not. So we think it's probably a good idea for them to go ahead and get vaccinated. That way they'll know for sure.
Alrighty, and once we get some final arrangements on when your clinics will start, we'll have that information available for you on our website, WSILTV.com. Miriam Link-Mullison, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
It's my pleasure.
Appreciate your time. Now let's go to weather specialist Clint Misselhorn.